Hello and welcome to one and all. In this class, we move on to the next question, that is the contingent, static and dynamic functions of money. In the previous class, we finished with the primary and secondary functions of money. Now this is SAQ 35, state the contingent, static and dynamic functions of money. As I mentioned in previously, like initially the function of money was the basic functions, where the basic functions started with the primary functions, that is medium of exchange and measure of value. And since money was performing these functions properly and regularly over a period of time, as the economy progressed all over the world, more and more roles were assigned to money. Money was able to perform so many other functions over a period of time. So the money started influencing the entire economic activity, the entire economic development of a country. So those functions are called as the contingent or the static and dynamic functions of money. That is, the role of money, the functions of money kept on increasing because money was able to perform the primary and the secondary functions properly and regularly. So the importance of money kept on increasing. So this is the contingent functions of money. So as usual, the introduction. And so money was invented to overcome the difficulties of barter system. Money performs several functions to facilitate easy and smooth economic transactions. They can be classified as primary, secondary and contingent, static and dynamic functions. Okay. Now coming to the contingent functions of money, as usual, let me explain to you briefly what are all the various contingent functions of money, and we will come back to the answer. Okay, so this is the functions of money, which we have already seen. The first one is the primary functions and the second one is the secondary functions. So primary and secondary functions, they are the traditional functions of money, which are also called as the static functions. And the third one is the contingent functions of money, which is called as the dynamic function of money. Okay, so let us see what are all the various contingent functions of money. So the first contingent function of money is money helps in the measurement and distribution of national income. Okay, now what is the meaning of national income? National income is the total value of all goods and services produced in a country, isn't it? The volume of goods and services produced in a country is known as national income. We all know that. Now, how do we measure the value of goods and services? How is it possible for us to find out the value of each and every good and service? The value of goods and services are represented through price, isn't it? So with the value of each and every commodity or service is having a certain price. Now what is that price? The price is nothing but the value of a good or service expressed in terms of money, isn't it? So the price represents the value of each and every commodity, and we are able to find out the values of each and every commodity, and when we add the values of all the goods and services, we are arriving at the national income. Okay, so based on price, we are able to find out the value of each and every good or service, and if we add the values of all goods and services, we are arriving at the national income. So we are able to measure the national income with the help of money. Okay, now coming to the distribution of national income. So the total national income generated in the country, that has to be distributed to the various factors of production in the form of total rent plus total wages plus total interest plus total profit. Now what is rent? The price of land is equal to rent. Wages is the price of labor. Interest is the price of capital, and profit is supposed to be the price of the organizer. This is the literal meaning of all the rent, wages, interest and profit. So what is when you say this is the rent, this much is the rent we are going to, the producer is going to pay to the landlord, this much amount of wages the producer is going to pay to the laborers. So how the producer is arriving at so and so wages or so and so rent? So they are all nothing but the values of the respective factors of production. Just like we are finding out, we are determining the value of the commodity, in the same way the values of each and every factor of production is also measured. That is the price of all the factors, or prices of all the factors of production, which is also expressed in terms of money. Okay, so theoretically, if you see, the price paid to each and every factor of production is equal to their contribution to production. So if the laborer, if the producer is getting an additional revenue of 50,000 by the employment of one more laborer, then that laborer must be paid equal to the wages of 50,000. That is, theoretically, this is how the price of the factor is being determined. Okay, so based on prices of each and every factor of production, it becomes possible to find out the value of each factor of production, that is, which is equal to their contribution to production. Theoretically this is how the determination of prices of factors of production is fixed, but then practically it might depend upon the demand and supply of factors. So many other factors are there. And distribute the national income as rewards, whatever it might be. If the laborer's contribution is only equal to, say for example, 5,000, the producer will not be paying 50,000 to that laborer, isn't it? So it will be around somewhere around equal to the contribution made by the laborer. So like similarly all the factors of production. So just like we are finding out the value of each and every commodity and determining the national income, the price and the value of each and every factor of production is being determined, and the prices of the factors of production are determined, and then in that way the national income is being distributed to all the factors of production. So you can understand that all these are becoming possible only because of the invention of money. You cannot expect all this to be done under the barter system, isn't it? So that is the most important contingent function performed by money. Okay, so the next one is the money equalizes marginal utilities and productivities. Okay, now the consumer gets equilibrium. When the consumer will get the equilibrium, when mu of x is equal to p of x. See, for example, the consumer is having limited money income. This limited money income he has to distribute on so many goods and services, isn't it? The consumer purchases so many goods and services with this limited money income. So how he has to know that, how he has to get that maximum satisfaction? So when he gets the maximum satisfaction when he's in that equilibrium position. So if he purchases a correct amount of quantities. So now what do we mean by the correct amount of quantities? That depends upon his satisfaction, because whenever a consumer purchases a particular commodity, he compares it with the price he has to pay, isn't it? See, when we are purchasing a particular commodity, we will think about how much price we have to pay and whether it is worth it or not. That's what we say in the normal language. As long as we think that our satisfaction is more than the price we are going to pay, we will keep on purchasing the commodity. But we all know that if we keep on consuming the same commodity, the satisfaction decreases, but still we keep on paying the same amount of price. So we will get that maximum satisfaction when we stop purchasing that particular commodity, when our satisfaction is equal to the price we are going to pay. That is, mu of x is equal to p of x. So if you are purchasing that many quantities of commodity x, where the marginal utility of commodity x is equal to price of x, that is, the last unit of commodity x which we purchase must be equal to the last amount of rupees which we are going to pay to that particular commodity. Similarly, for all commodities, mu of x must be equal to p of x. We should purchase that many units of commodity y when we reach the position mu of y is equal to p of y, and so on, like n number of commodities. Mu of n must be equal to p of n. The consumer is in the equilibrium position. So, or in other words, this is the ratio. Mu of x divided by p of x, that ratio must be equal to mu of y divided by p of y. That must be equal to mu of z divided by p of z, and so on, mu of n divided by p of n. So if this ratio is satisfied, the consumer is in equilibrium position. So now what the consumer is doing, the consumer tries to equalize the marginal utility gained from each good and service. Marginal utility is a psychological concept, isn't it? And we are trying to equate with the prices, with their respective prices, which is a monetary concept. So we are trying to equate our satisfaction, which is a psychological concept, with the price which we are going to pay, which is a monetary concept, because only because of money we are trying at least to equate the satisfaction with the monetary concept, that is price. Then only we are arriving at that equilibrium position. Okay, because as long as if we think that the commodity X is giving us more satisfaction than commodity Y, what we will do, we will spend our limited money income on commodity X only, isn't it? So till that time, we, in the marginal utility of commodity X equals to the marginal utility of commodity Y, till then we will keep on substituting commodity X for commodity Y. So the consumer substitutes good X for good Y till mu of x divided by p of x becomes equal to mu of y divided by p of y. So not only two commodities, all the commodities, if the consumer feels that one commodity or service is giving more satisfaction compared to the another commodity or service along with their respective prices, then the consumer will keep on substituting that commodity till the marginal utilities become equal, or in other words, the consumer is able to attain the equilibrium position because with the help of money he is able to equate his marginal utility with the prices of all the with the prices of the respective commodities, and is able to equate the ratio of marginal utility of one commodity with the price of that particular commodity with the marginal utilities of another other commodities with their respective prices. So all these are becoming possible only because of the invention of money. Okay, then the consumer reaches the equilibrium position or the maximum satisfaction position. So again, this is possible because of money. Similarly, the producer, consumer, as a consumer, we are substituting commodity X for commodity Y for consumption. And what the producer is doing, the producer, he is having the option of substituting either labor for capital in the sense machinery, okay, and vice versa according to their productivity. Suppose that means what, if the producer thinks that the productivity of labor is more than the productivity of capital with including their prices, then the producer will keep on substituting labor because then only he will get more and more amount of profit. Similarly, if the producer thinks that the machinery's productivity is more compared to the labor, okay, so even though the cost of machinery is more, the productivity is more, the producer will be able to get more amount of output, and that will be compensated by increasing the revenue. Okay, so the producer will keep on substituting labor for capital, that is machinery, or machinery for labor, till the marginal productivity of labor is equal to the marginal productivity of capital. So just like the consumer, the producer will attain the equilibrium when marginal productivity of labor, that is MPL, divided by price of labor, that is wages, that is equal to the marginal productivity of K, that is capital. Capital is always represented by the alphabet K, divided by price of K, that is rate of interest. Okay, so what is doing, if MPL divided by PL is greater than MPK divided by PK, the producer will substitute labor for capital or machinery till their productivities become equal. So just like the consumer is substituting commodity X for commodity Y, then the producer will also substitute one factor for another factor till their marginal productivities become equal with their respective prices. Okay, then the producer will stop substituting and he will be reaching that equilibrium position where he will be operating, where he, under the given circumstances, he might be getting the maximum profit. Okay, again that is becoming possible because of the invention of money. Okay, then the third important contingent function performed by money is money acts as a basis of credit. Okay, so money helps in the credit creation process of commercial banks. So the commercial, one of the major functions of commercial banks is to create credit. Okay, when you talk about the total volume of circulation of money in an economy, it is mostly the credit creation process. The more advanced a country is, 80% of the total circulation of money in the economy will be the credit creation process by the commercial banks. Only the remaining 20% will be the circulation of money that is based on the issue of currency notes by the central bank. All the remaining 80% will be the circulation, the credit creation process initiated by the commercial banks. Now, how the commercial bank is able to create credit? It is not possible for a commercial bank without having that something called as the reserve money. That is, credit is created by the commercial banks out of the primary deposits. When a customer is depositing to the bank initially, that is what is called as the primary deposit received after keeping certain amount of reserve money. Now, what is the main function of commercial banks? Commercial bank accept the deposits from the general public, and out of the deposits received from the general public, the commercial banks lend loans to whoever needs the money. Okay, so when the commercial bank is lending the money, what it is, it has to keep a certain percentage in the form of reserve with the Reserve Bank of India as per the RBI's rules. Only the remaining amount the commercial banks can lend to some other third person. Okay, the entire deposit received by the commercial bank is not handed over to another person as loan. Okay, so some portion is reserved, maintained by the commercial banks. So that depends upon the ratio fixed by the Reserve Bank of India or the central bank of any country. The remaining percentage of money is being lent in the form of loans to the other person. Okay, now this is, and when the also you have to understand that when the commercial bank is lending loans to another person, it is not handing over the cash. Okay, the commercial bank is opening an account in the borrower's name. So what you understand here, money is still with the commercial bank only, so only the name is changed. Okay, so this is how the commercial banks create credit. So I have given you a simple example here. Let us assume customer A deposits rupees 90,000 in SBI. Okay, assuming the cash reserve ratio or reserve money as per the rules of the RBI is 10%. So this is something called the cash reserve ratio, one of the credit control methods of the RBI. Assuming the Reserve Bank of India has put a rule that minimum 10% should be kept in the form of reserve out of the total deposits received by the commercial banks, the remaining 90% the commercial banks can lend in the form of loans. Okay, but as per the rules by RBI, the SBI, what it can do, keeps 10% as reserve, the remaining amount can be lent as loans by SBI. So in that case, what will happen? First, let us SBI, what is happening? Total deposits rupees 90,000. For the sake of convenience, let us assume only the customer A, and the total deposits received by SBI is rupees 90,000. How much SBI has to keep in the form of reserve? Minimum reserve as per the rules of RBI 10%, that is 9,000. So balance 81,000 the SBI can lend in the form of loans to another person. So let us assume that customer B approaches SBI for loan. Now SBI lends rupees 81,000. 81,000 is the maximum SBI can lend in the form of loan, because after keeping 10% as reserve. So 81,000 to customer B. So customer B deposits this money in ICICI. Assuming he can deposit even in SBI also, or let us assume the customer B is depositing in ICICI because customer B is having an account in ICICI. I repeat again, when the borrower approaches a bank for loan, the bank is not handing over the money in the form of cash to the customer. The bank is opening an account on the borrower's name. So that means the money is still with the bank only the account is being opened, and it is transferred to the customer borrower's name. So now customer B deposits this money in ICICI. So now what is happening? This 81,000 is transferred from SBI to ICICI. Now ICICI receives a deposit of rupees 81,000. Okay, now again, as per the rules, ICICI has to keep a minimum reserve of 10%, that is 8,100. Then the remaining 72,900 ICICI can lend to another customer. So now ICICI can lend a maximum of rupees 72,900 to another person, which again that person could be deposited again in that person's account, again maybe in the same bank, or that customer must be having in another bank, in say Indian bank. Okay, so like that the process keeps on going till only 10% is left with the banks. So once 10% reach, the banks could no longer extend the loans. So now what is happening here? Initial deposit is only 90,000. So that 90,000 is changing hands like this: 90,000 plus 81,000 plus 72,900 plus 65,600 plus 59,049, till like that the process keeps on going. Okay, like that the accounts will be opened in different names, and then this money, this is the process of credit creation. So this is how the money is being transferred from one person to another person. So the volume of circulation of money in the country keeps on increasing. So the initial 90,000 received by SBI, that is a primary deposit from customer A. Now this 81,000, when the SBI is lending loan to customer B, it is opening an account on customer B, isn't it, in the form of loan. That is called as the secondary deposit. Okay, that is also a deposit, but it is a secondary deposit. And like that, all the other deposits, when you are borrowing loan from a bank, the bank is opening an account on your name, that is the secondary deposit. When we are going and depositing the money in the bank, that is called as the primary deposit. So many people are depositing money in the bank, so that is a primary deposit. Out of that primary deposit received by the commercial bank, some portion is kept in the bank as a reserve, that is called as the reserve money. The remaining amount is lent to other people by opening an account in their name, that is the secondary deposit. So the process keeps on going. Okay, this process of credit creation is not possible without the reserve money. So unless that reserve money, the 10% reserve money is there, then it is not possible for the commercial banks to create credit. Okay, that 10% reserve money is because, suppose if the original depositor comes and demands the money, then the commercial bank should be able to repay the money on demand. For that sake, some certain amount is reserved to repay the deposit to the depositor. So that reserve money, without that reserve money, it is not possible for the commercial banks to create credit. So again, this is the one of the main contingent functions of the money, which is enabling the commercial banks in the process of credit creation. So money is the basis for credit. Okay, then the fourth contingent function is something called as liquidity. Now what is the meaning of liquidity? See, we are having liquid cash in our hand, that is the liquidity. So the ability of any asset to act as a direct medium of exchange is known as liquidity. So that means what? If we are having liquid cash in our hand, we can easily go to the shop and purchase anything. If you have any emergency, we can use that money, isn't it? So that is only going to help us in the emergency, in the immediate. You need money immediately, you have to use, you have to purchase something, you have to purchase medicines, you have to go to the hospital, you are having some emergency. So people can have assets in so many ways. People can have asset in the form of gold or jewelry. People can have asset in the form of properties, that is real estate. People can have assets in the form of shares, stocks, bonds, debentures. People can also have in the form of deposits, fixed deposits, all those things. And people can also have asset in the form of money. So which is, of all these types of assets, which is going to readily acceptable in the market? Money, isn't it? See, when you cannot go to the shop and purchase a commodity and say that I have gold, I have properties, I will sell it and pay it to you. You have to immediately, you have an emergency, you have to be admitted in the hospital. You cannot say that I have shares and stocks, I will convert it into money, because all these have to be converted into money. Everybody will not accept shares, isn't it? So you have to convert this into form of money, and then only that can be used. So it is going to take certain period of time. So of all these types of asset, money is the direct medium of exchange compared to all other assets. So money is the only asset which is immediately serving our purpose. Okay, so this again is the contingent function of money. Okay, now I think I have clearly explained to you all these contingent functions of money. Now let us go back to the actual answer. Okay, contingent functions of money. First one, measurement and distribution of national income. The total value of all goods and services produced in a country is known as national income. With money, it is possible to find out and add the values of all goods and services to arrive at the national income. Since I have already explained everything to you, I don't think any other explanation is required. Also, it is possible to distribute the national income to various factors of production as rewards in the form of rent, wages, interest and profits. Second one, money equalizes marginal utilities and productivities. Money helps the consumer to equalize the marginal utilities of different commodities and the producer to equalize the marginal productivities of different factors of production. Third one, basis of credit. Credit creation, which is one of the main functions of commercial banks, are done out of the primary deposits of money. This depends on the supply of nominal money. It is not possible to create credit without reserve money. Fourth one, liquidity. Money is the most important liquid asset of all assets as it has got ready purchasing power. This is because money can be used as a direct medium of exchange, which is not possible with other types of assets like gold, properties, shares, etc. Okay, now there are two more functions, static and dynamic functions of money, which is divided as by Paul NC. So the static functions of money, the primary and secondary functions of money, they are called as the static functions. So these functions, they are the traditional functions of money. It is like, continuously money has been doing, acting as a medium of exchange, measure of value, store of value, like that. This is all these functions of money will help the general operation, general running of an economy, but it does not influence the economy in the form of, it does not influence to increase the economic development of the country. It does not influence each and every citizen of the country. It does not influence any generation of employment or output or income, etc. So they are called as the static functions. But the dynamic functions, money helps to boost the economy. The economic activity of the country will be boosted because of those certain functions of money. So money can direct the savings. See, if you are money acts as a measure of money, acts as a store of value. That is one of the secondary functions of money, which is a static function. Okay, so as long as it is remaining in the form of deposit, it is not doing anything for the generation of income or production in the economy. If the banks are lending that deposits to the lender, to the producer, for investment in production, then that money is becoming active. As long as it is remaining in the form of deposits, it is remaining like an idle money without being used. That is a static function. But if the same deposits are lent by a commercial bank to the producer and for investment, as investment, then that idle money is becoming active. That boosts the production, that generates income, employment, etc. So then those functions of money make the economy dynamic. It influences each and every citizen in the form of economic development of a country. It makes the entire economy dynamic. So those are all the kind of functions which make the entire economy dynamic. They come under the category of dynamic function. So all the contingent functions of money happens to be the dynamic function. The primary and secondary functions of money, which are just enabling for the operation of the economy, they come under the static functions of money. Okay, so now static and dynamic functions of money. Paul Einzig classified the functions of money as static and dynamic functions. Static functions, first one, the primary and secondary functions of money or the static functions of money. They facilitate price mechanism and assist in the operation of the economy, but do not produce any movement in the economy. Money acts as a medium of exchange. So the demand is there, supply is there. With the, if there is a demand, we are going and purchasing the commodity from the shop. Supply is there. So based on the price mechanism, the demand and supply is moving up and down, or the price is moving up and down according to the demand and supply. So the operation of we are able to measure each and every commodity, how much price we have to pay, we know, isn't it? So money, because money is acting as a measure of value. So all these are the general operation of the economy. They do not show any effect on the economic development. The second one, the dynamic functions. Money can put idle resources into productive channels to generate more output. The contingent functions of money or the dynamic functions as they influence output, consumption, distribution and the general price level, and hence the entire economy. See, the factors of production, if they receive the reward, then only they will become productive, isn't it? So all these are making, otherwise there will not be any contribution from the factor of production. So all these are the dynamic functions of money. And the credit creation process of commercial banks. Okay, since the entire economic activity is affected because of these functions of money, they are called as dynamic functions. Okay, so these are all the other types of functions of money. So now we are finished with all the functions of money: primary, secondary, contingent, static and dynamic functions of money. Okay, hope you have clearly understood what are all the important functions of money. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comment box. Otherwise, if you find this video useful, please like, share and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, until my next class, take care. Bye bye.